Not feeling good today, guys. I was going to discuss today about relationships with dysfunctional parents and dysfunctional family members and the damage and chaos that happens when you grow up in a dysfunctional household. Like my mother, for example, who's now disabled and elderly and can't really take care of herself anymore and needs my help. She was one of the biggest control freaks when I was growing up as a kid. She'd always tell me what to do. She was overly protective. She smothered me. And I didn't enjoy it at all. I ended up hating her for it. I never introduced her to my friends. I always kept secrets from her because I didn't trust her. She was always judgmental and judging other people and looking at things the wrong way and not seeing it in the right way. And I realized that for all these years, I do have empathy for my mom and sympathy, but love I don't have. And I know that can be a dapper on relationships because a lot of partners and people, women in particular, want a guy that loves their mother and that loves their family. And me, I'm not that guy at all. I fucking hate family because all the family I ever known was dysfunctional. Never had a normal life, and I'm not interested in trying now. The only thing I was interested in was having my own kids, my own family someday, and raising them in a way that I thought would be appropriate. Not giving them too much freedom being there, but I always wanted a son, for instance, someone I could bond with. I never really bonded with my mom that way. Yeah, I used to cry. And don't get me wrong, I care about my mom a lot, but she's a pain in the ass. As she's gotten older, she yells, screams, and she's partially paralyzed. She can't move around too well, and her eyesight is starting to go out on her, so she's going blind. So I've told her that I'll have to put her in a nursing home once she goes completely blind because I can't take care of her. I have a hard enough time taking care of me as is. And that's going to put a hindrance on me ever finding a relationship because I won't spoon feed her, I won't bathe her, I won't change her, I won't do any of that shit. Because I don't feel that I can do that, and I don't want to do that. I have zero desire. Many years ago she asked me if I'd take care of her when I was a child, and I just nodded in my head, but truthfully, I was like, you're fucking crazy for asking me that. You know? But then again, I never had that close family attachment. I mean, I liked my grandmother, but even she didn't really like me. Because my dad and my mom had a toxic relationship, and it rubbed off on my grandmother. Kind of the way my relationships are when I meet other people's families. And I know I got to work on it, but I don't think I can. That's just who I am as a person. People want someone that loves family. They don't want someone like me who doesn't love family. Familial love is extremely important, even though to me it's not important, but to other people in the rest of the world it is. I'm one of the rare 3% that isn't into family. I'm about myself, my needs, my relationship, or our relationship if I had a partner. Not meaning to sound selfish, but that's what I want. I want someone who's been through the same things I've been through and who understands me and who grew up in dysfunction. But this person has to be someone who doesn't love their family. I want someone who hates their family if I'm given a choice. So that way they'll focus on me and not their family, like all my partners have always had. They never gave me the attention I needed or wanted or craved. My last partner kicked me in the curb. And we fought every fucking day. I wished her dead. That's how bad it was. And my mom, I had a dysfunctional relationship with her. Even to this day, we don't get along. That's why I moved the hell out, because I don't want to be around her. She's toxic. I have my own life, and people just don't seem to understand that. And I get put down by other people, other needy, clingy people who have abandonment issues who judge me and cast stones, but they don't clean up their own shit first, and they judge me. You don't fucking know what I've had to go through in life. I'm lucky that I'm even standing here. And for the shit I've been through, I'd be locked up in a prison somewhere or in an institution for all the shit I've seen and what I've had to go through. I'm lucky, because I've gone through fucking hell with the system. I got molested by my dad. My mom ended up in a psych ward. My grandmother died. I got bullied in school. It's a miracle I didn't hurt anybody in school. One time I got into it when I was 7 years old, and I said I wanted to take some gasoline and burn the school down to the ground, because I kept getting bullied by older high school bullies when I was like 7 years old. Because I went to this special needs school for the specially gifted, I guess you could say, or ungifted. And a lot of the kids had behavior issues, and they didn't know any better. But honestly, if I could go back in time, I would beat the living shit out of all the guys that bullied me. I'd probably even kill them. That's just me being honest. If I could go back in a time machine, I'd do that. Those individuals put me through hell. And I don't condone violence, but sometimes violence is the way of, the nature of the beast. And people have to get their point across when others don't listen. And sometimes it has to come to that, unfortunately. That's the world we live in. We live in a very violent world. We live in an uncaring, selfish world. People don't care, especially when you're autistic. Disabled people are at the low end of the totem pole. They're chastised, they're outcasted. No one gives a fuck about them. And that's the truth. These organizations that are supposed to take care of them, they fucking take the money, they take their Social Security money and spend it and live off the misery off of others. And I'm so fucking sick and tired of that shit. Fucking stupid, idiotic fucking families don't understand what they're doing to their kids. I mean, don't you want to make your kid more independent? Why would you put them in a group home where they have to share a room with 4 other guys? A grown man is not supposed to have to share a room with other men and have to worry if his stuff's going to get stolen or have to worry if he can use a shower. My mom threatened to put me in a group home many years ago, back in 2005, and we got in a big fight over it. Actually, a fist fight, as a matter of fact, because my mom used to beat the shit out of me. She's only 5 feet tall, or even less than that, but she was a boxer basically back in the day. She got into fist fights regularly with all her boyfriends that she had. And yeah, my mom now is pretty much down on her luck, on her last leg. And I mean, I'm sorry I can't take care of her, but at the same time, I'm also not sorry because she brought it onto herself by not taking care of herself, by using me as an excuse to not take care of herself. Because back in the days, in the 1990s, there was no welfare for adults. There was only welfare for children and insurance. And my mom, being a diabetic, didn't take her medication for over 25 years. And that fucked her up beyond all anything. And she's been diabetic almost 40 years. And now she's taking insulin, so it's under control, but the damage is done. She's about to lose both her eyes, and she's got cataracts. She can barely hold a balance. I've watched the last 15 years her deteriorate. If I could go back in a time machine, honestly, I'd have pulled the plug, because she's really suffered a lot, but she wants to live like that. But she could have made better choices and not worry about me or use me as a scapegoat. The thing is, with my mom, she never took responsibility for everything. Always blamed everyone else and everyone else around her. And all the people she had, all the family members were all toxic. And it rubbed off on her because my mom's a follower, basically. Religion is her thing because she has abandonment issues from when she didn't see her mom for almost 20 years. And then my grandmother died. My mom's mom died in 1991, 31 years ago. I was 7 years old, and I got to see my grandmother for the last time being taken out on a stretcher. I never even got to say goodbye. And I've got a lot of traumatic experiences. It's amazing that I'm out here free today, and I'm able to function somewhat, but sometimes the painful memories eat at me. And when I'm put in a toxic environment, it doesn't help any. My mom's toxic. She don't take care of herself. She expects others to take care of her. She's got pet dogs that I love to death, but truth is she can't take care of herself, so how is she supposed to take care of animals? But here's the funny thing. She's able to cook for them, but she's not able to cook for herself. I think she's wanting the attention and she wants me to do the cooking for her. But I told her, 30 years ago or 25 years ago back in the 90s, I would never take care of her if she became sick, that she better not get sick. I warned her to take her medicine way back then, and she didn't fucking listen. Oh well. She's going to be in a nursing home here soon if she doesn't start improving. And quite frankly, I'm just tired of it. I've done the best I can. And I don't have a relationship with my father. I fucking hate him too. I wish he'd die. I fucking hate him with a passion. He's a piece of shit, child molester. He deserves to be fucking shot in the head, honestly, for the shit he did to me. And I hope wherever he is, he's suffering. And fuck you, Dad. I hope you fucking die and burn in hell, you son of a bitch. The pain you bestowed upon me, I'll get my revenge one day on you. Asshole. So with that said, I find that also people that are of a third world country or third world nation, their standards of being westernized puts them at a dysfunctional advantage. They can't adapt to American lifestyle, and it fucks with their head. They just can't handle it. My mom was in America at 15 years old back in 1970, and she was a kid, and like I said, she had 18 abortions before I was born. And yeah, she didn't want kids, honestly. That's why I always tell her, I was like, why'd you have me? She did it to make my grandmother happy. My grandmother wanted grandkids, but yet they never had a relationship. Their relationship was non-existent, basically. When my grandmother was pregnant with my mom, she'd tie her stomach with a belt so she could hide, because my grandfather was a minister of education, and he had servants, and my grandmother was a servant in his house. And my grandfather was a sex addict like I am. Unfortunately, I've inherited that trope. My entire family are all sex addicts, and it runs in my blood and in my DNA. I can't help it. And I don't want to change. I want to keep having unprotected sex with different women, left and right, even if it kills me and I get AIDS and die. That's how I want to go out on my own terms. I want to have sex with a whole bunch of women, a whole bunch of prostitutes, a whole bunch of whores. That's what I want to do. That's the honest to God truth. That's what makes me happy. The thing is, though, it costs money. I can't afford to always be buying whores and breaking the law that way. I'm admitting to a crime right here to you guys by fucking paying for prostitutes. But, I pick these homeless girls up because they'd give it up. They have no families. And I was thinking, man, if I could get one of those girls to give that lifestyle up of drugs and partying and let them focus on me and the relationship, I just might find eternal happiness. And I've tried many a times to pick up girls off the streets who are homeless, all ages between 18 and 60 years old. I've been with many women, but I crave sex, like I said, and I want it all the time. I can't be with a partner that won't give it up to me on a regular basis and that gives everything up to me. Anal, sodomy, pussy, fellatio, I want it all. I want to come inside her pussy and get her pregnant. That's what I long to do. I want a partner that lets me come inside them. All that I want, all day long if I want, and them not say a word to me and just take it. That's what I want. So I guess basically I want a sex slave is what I'm saying. Even though I really don't want a slave, I guess I kind of do, because I'm kind of into S&M and inflicting pain. And I've known girls that loved pain. I briefly got involved with this girl whose mother died, and I was only interested in her because her mother died and she didn't have a family. Her son was given up, like I said in yesterday's video, and she let me bite her nipples until she bled, and she loved it. And I drank her blood, and it felt fucking good, honestly. I bit her nipples, I broke the skin. She wanted me to keep going harder and harder, but she wouldn't blow me. She said she'd rather get fucked in the ass, so I fucked her in the ass and yanked her hair, and it felt good. But I could never see her as my girlfriend because she was a dumb whore to me. I didn't respect her. I urinated on her, I spit on her, I did all those bad things. In a way, I kind of do enjoy degrading people, women, and I love looking at porn where men get degraded too by women, and they get spit on and shit on and pissed on and beaten. I like S&M. That club I went to in Power Exchange in San Francisco is an S&M type club, and they have that setup, but they won't let me have sex without a condom. I hate using condoms. I love going bareback and being free. I've caught STDs from it. I'm not suggesting you do what I did, because that's just foolish. But that's my choice in life. And that's the kind of behavior I condone for myself. But as far as you guys go, you guys should stay protected. Don't do what I do, and don't be like me, because I'm going to hell when all is said and done. That's an honest to God truth. I don't know what the future holds for me. I don't think I'm going to have a partner anytime soon. One that's of any value. Only kind of women that are coming in my direction are women who want money from me, and who get the money and they run, and they won't do anything for me. They won't stay with me. They use me, especially homeless women. They're down on their luck. That's why I can't fucking stand homeless people anymore. I used to love homeless people, but now I fucking hate them. Fucking cunts. Let them eat out of the trash can. I've had some of them steal from me. I've had some come into my house and put guns in my face, bring people with guns to try to intimidate me, and I don't play that shit. You best believe I'll fucking kill you if you ever point a gun at me. I'll take it from you and use it. I'm not kidding. Pressure me to fear for my life, I will strike. Because that's what normal people do. When you're being attacked, when someone's trying to rob you at gunpoint, you react. You don't just sit there and get shot like a rabbit. You fight back. And me, I'm a fighter. I don't let anybody put me down. Fuck that shit. But back to the topic I was talking about. When you're in a relationship, I notice all the women I've talked to, I've spoken to, and I've seen this on dating shows and other places, a lot of them, they want a guy that loves their mother. And that is not me at all. I mean, I care about my mom, and I guess care is a form of love, but a mild form of love. I don't have that attachment to her. I mean, I'd be sad if she passed away or ended up in a nursing home, but at the same time, I hate seeing her suffer like she is. And caregivers won't help. They take advantage, and I got to put up with them. Especially the black caregivers. They don't do nothing but sit on their ass. They're the most useless people when it comes to caregiving. I don't know why they're even in a union. The entire caregivers union of SEIU 2015 are all Negro, African American. They're all fucked up people. Ghetto trash from hell. The one that was my mom's caregiver, I literally butted heads with her. I called her all kinds of names. She threatened to have her niece cop come after me. I told her I don't give a fuck because I'm not scared of cops. I've been attacked by cops. I've had guns pointed at me by cops. I've had people point guns at me in my mom's neighborhood. Sawed-off shotguns. You think that shit scares me? I got my piece right here. Nobody will fuck with me that way. I'm not scared. And if it's my time to go, and that's God's plan, and I don't even really believe in God that way, so be it. I've had a horrible life. A life that nobody should have to live. I'm in pain from it every day. I'll never have a decent relationship because of that. And nobody understands what I've been through. And I've just had enough of mankind and people in general. We live in a selfish, uncaring society that doesn't give a damn about its fellow man, that leaves people in the dirt. Disabled people are chastised. They have no help. They're constantly abused. If I could, I'd try to help them to get on their feet and show them the right way. But people with autism and Aspergers in particular, they have a hard time understanding directions. And I've tried to explain it different ways. It took me a long time to understand directions. I still have a problem with directions to this day. But there's room for improvement for everybody. If you fucking just take care of yourself and you find the right community and the right people who listen, always check the reviews of different companies. ILS, SLS, Regional Center, Bright Horizons, Harmony Home, all those companies, they're all over California and all over the United States. And they help out the disabled, but lately their funds have been cut. 30, 40 years ago when I was a kid, they did better help. They used to give the family respite and money to take care of the kids, and they stopped doing that about 15 years ago, where they cut the respite off altogether. And I was going to college and they cut me off, and my mom was pissed off at me and blamed me. She wanted me to join a day program full of people with Down syndrome. so I could still keep getting money. And I told her, I'm not going to fucking do that. I'm not disabled that way. I don't identify with people who have Down syndrome or in those day programs. Zero, zilch, nothing. I'm my own man. I go places on my own. I know how to take public transportation. I know how to cook. I know how to clean. I know how to fight. I know how to take my medicine. I don't need that shit. I'm perfectly able-bodied. If a nuclear blast happened, I think I'd still be here. I'd find a way to survive while everybody else is dead out there and nothing but cockroaches and radiation. I'll still be here because I'm a survivor. And I know how to make it in the wilderness if I had to. But the way the world's headed, though, I don't know. I'll probably end up dying here of old age or one of my million health ailments, being diabetic, having high blood pressure, kidney failure. I mean, and all the blood pressure pills I take, which I've been taking for 15 years, and it's fucked me up physically. I can barely stand right now as is, talking to you like this. But I just want to hear your thoughts. Are there people, are there some of you who have problems with your parents, your moms and dads in particular, where you don't agree with their religious ideologies or the life they try to force upon you? I mean, parents are bad parents when they don't want to let their children be their own person. That's what makes a parent a bad parent, in my opinion. A parent should be nurturing, kind, caring, and be there for their kids and just fucking listen. Don't fucking stand there and try to bark orders and try to control and manipulate your child. You're a piece of shit if you do that, just like my mom was and is. Don't do that shit. Love your kids and just understand. They'll be fine. They'll be their own person. They'll make it in this world with or without your help. There'll be others to help them, like me. We'll give them a voice. I'm the voice to the voiceless. And I plan to do that to my last dying breath. I'll help out as many as I can until it just kills me, until I can't go no more, until I'm just dust in the wind. Because that's all I got going for me. I don't got a family. I don't got kids. I don't got a wife or a girlfriend that loves me. My mom doesn't give a shit about me. The pets do. That's about it. And my pet rats that are here. I have to be on this mission, and I got to protect all those that have been wronged against the tyrants and the people who just are out to take money. They need to have their business licenses revoked. But I don't know if there's a better business bureau or someone or something that could help fight it. I've complained, I've written reports, I've sent letters. I even considered writing the governor a letter and writing the president a letter, writing Joe Biden a letter and telling him the disabled need a stimulus. They can't make it. The cost of living is just too much. We got the war in Ukraine. The world's a horrible place right now. And people don't have that support network and support net that they get from their day programs. It's just now that day programs are starting to kind of open up a little bit since COVID hit. And a lot of people have gone back to drugs and other things. People have died during this pandemic. It's a horrible thing. You just got to keep fighting the good fight. Don't do what I've done in my life. Protect yourself.